Hey, welcome back to Fixing Things. Today, we're going on an adventure. We have a Sportster 883. I think it's a 2001, 2002, something like that. And if you watched a couple of my videos before, one of the ladies that works for me, her name is Angela, and we worked on her Jeep. Well, today we're working on her 883 Sportster that hasn't ran in probably 8 years or maybe a little better. It's been a while. I went over there and worked on her faucet on her house, and while I was over there, I figured I'd give it a try. Well, I mean, the battery was completely dead. It wasn't getting no fuel. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's because it needs vacuum. Now, the gas is 8 years old in it. So we're gonna bring fresh gas. We're gonna clean the carburetor out. We may put a few parts in the carburetor. We're gonna put a brand new battery in it. We're gonna do a bunch of stuff to it. And we're gonna get that thing running and running good. The choke, which is called the enrichener valve, is broken off. Somebody over tightened it with a wrench or something and snapped it off. They get old. They're right next to the cylinder head. They get hot and the plastic gets brittle. So on today's video, we're gonna do a will it start on a Sportster that hasn't ran in probably a decade, give or take a year or two. All right, let's get with it. I got to load this truck up. Do I got everything? Let me take a check, see what I got. All right, I got my tools, tool bag with extra batteries and gum out carburetor cleaner, air tools, air compressor. I got some fresh gas, and we'll probably take it for a ride and fill the tank up. I got some 20W50 motor oil just in case it's low. We got her new parts. She needs a new air box. Dropping air chucks and stuff. Got a new battery, carburetor kit, and choke thingy right here. Got some rags because it's going to be making a mess with the gasoline and the carburetor. Camera junk so we can make video. I mean, what's the use of making a video if we don't have camera junk? Am I missing anything? Oh man. Gotta have my safety gear. Gotta have my safety gear if I want to go riding. Gotta have a helmet and some. I got goggles. Yeah, I got some. We're good. All right, so we're gonna head on over to Miss Angela's house. I've been taking my wife, even though she has her motorcycle's license, to the commuter lot and doing practicing. And I think it would be good for both of them to go through the basics one more time, and then go up and take the MSE, I don't know, whatever it is, course together. It's one thing I could tell you: riding a motorcycle by yourself is fun. Riding it with some friends is funner. All right, let's get on over there. All right. I had a comment on my video where I worked on this that I sloshed that lacquer thinner all over the side of Miss Angela's car. Obviously, saying that was going to damage the paint. That's because you don't know how this stuff works. It's not acetone. Acetone is one of the harshest alcohols you can have, but lacquer thinner is not. But what it does do, it burns good inside an engine and cleans it out. All right, let's see. She says she left this open. Oh yeah. All right, so here it is right here. The seat was still off from the last time I worked on it. I hope we didn't lose the screw. Oh no, the screw for the seat is still there. So I ordered a new breather box because this one is broken. The stud's broken off inside it. And we don't want the motor to get damaged. Hear a buzzing going on in here. But it's a nice motorcycle. Battery's completely dead. I let this thing charge for hours. I mean, the paint is perfect on this bike. This is a good looking bike. It really is. This is gonna make her a nice motorcycle to ride. Now, when you check the oil, you can't check it in this position. See, it shows empty. You actually gotta crank the motor over a little bit, build it up. I see she don't have a license plate. Hopefully she's getting one, because I gotta test drive this thing. Anyways, I know it's not getting fuel, and it didn't have hardly any gas in it. This motorcycle is exactly like mine, except this is an 883. It's the same model bike, except this is an 883. So I shouldn't have no problems working on this one. All right, let's get this motorcycle out where we can work on it. Probably should pull it over some, so a cleanage area. Bring the shade. I think this will be good. There ain't much gas in it. I think first thing we should do is put some gas in it. So this should be enough gas to dilute the old, whew, you can smell the old gas in it. There wasn't much in there, but I know that the carburetor is gummed up. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that this engine here has a vacuum shutoff on the carburetor. I mean, on the fuel tank. And you're right, it does. But we put some jumper cables on this thing, and we cranked it for quite a while. It was enough to get the fuel was coming down the hosey thing, the hose. It was coming down the hose, but it wasn't spraying when I was doing the throttle. I tapped on the carburetor and got a little bit into the fuel bowl. It took the fuel bowl off, and we just had a little bit of gas in it. When I cranked it over, when I turned the motor over with the bottom of the carburetor hanging off, fuel flowed. Nasty fuel. So I know we have to do this. When I looked down the tank last time with a little light, actually it was from my phone, the tank looked pretty clean. So I think we're pretty good. The screen on the thing looks pretty good. Imagine you can see it quite a bit down through the hole of the tank. So I think we're going to be okay with that. So we put 1 gallon of gas, good gas. We're going to get this thing running, that's for sure. I got a truckload of tools. Got my tool bag out here with some stuff in it, some parts in it. I'm going to run my air line over here, run a power back to my air compressor. We're going to have air, we're going to have cleaning stuff, we're going to have tools, we're going to have everything we need to do to get this thing up and running. So let's get some tools going. Plus it makes a good seat. Like I said, we bought her a nice used air box. So this piece right here, the 7/16 stud, is broke off on hers, and she lost the screws. So I stopped off at the hardware store and I picked her up a set of screws. They should go right in there. Just like that. Got it. It'll work. We'll put some anti-seize on it. Man, that's a nice bike. All right, let's go ahead and... Should have brought me my lay it down device. Maybe she got something for my knees. So the way these clamps on the batteries work is all you do is loosen one side and the strap comes off. Push up on this thing right here. It's got a little nice little cover. Got a little bit of rust on it, not bad. Maybe I can find some cleaner here to put on it. Always when you're working on someone's stuff, leave it nicer than you had it. All right, now let's get this battery out. There we go. And it's got two little bolts, and it's got some slidey things on. You don't want to lose those slidey things because you may need them on your new battery. Everything's a 10 millimeter in metric world, right? You can see where it's been jumped quite a few times. Now, some of them come with a little spacer. If it's got the spacer, you got to use the spacer. You'll be taking this one off last. This is a dead battery. I dropped something. This is the little spacer. You can see it right here. It wasn't even tight. And that little battery is heavy. Save all your little pieces. All right, I can tell by looking at the box, it's not the same battery, but it may fit. Upside up. Let's hope it's not pre-filled. And it is a pre-filled battery. It's not supposed to be. All right, comes with a hardware kit. Didn't bring my tester. All right, it's the same heightish. Positive, negatives on the same side. All right, let's go put it in. The thing is you want to make sure you get all this up in there. And it's usually a tricky little thingy. Need a spacer doodaddy. Yeah, I should just do a video on how to put a battery in a Sportster. All right, I guess we gotta see if it's got power. We may be charging it. Oh yeah, we got power. Dummy me, I got this on upside down. Look. I think it's gonna rain. They've been having some real bad storms just west of here. Pastor Bill, I thought you were gonna do will it start? Well, it ain't starting yet, right? This is a will it start. Like I said, it's not getting fuel, but it's getting fuel out the hose. We know that. All right, battery's tight. We ain't going nowhere. Battery's not rocking, it's not moving. So now we gotta address the carburetor and stuff. Air box, the fuel system. The battery's in, it's got gas in it. I mean, it may just fire up. I mean, it may just fire up right now. But it ain't gonna run good because I know the accelerator pump is not working. It is not working. All right, let's take the air cleaner apart. You know what I should have got? I should have got one of her those custom inserts for her. I'm hoping her and Carol will do quite a bit of riding together. This, you need to get rid of these and get K&N filters, and you never have to replace them again. This one is not too bad, but they're air restrictive. Okay, these three takes it off the carburetor, and then we need one to take it off the cylinder heads. What the heck? There we go. Keep it all together. We're not using this, but we need some of this hardware to go in the new one. Yep. See, this one was broken off, the nut inside there. Take the fuel line off of it. Don't want to lose the clamp. All right, so one of the things I got her was the enricher valve, it's called. And this one is broke here. You can see when you pull it out, this is actually supposed to stay connected to that threaded piece. And it's broke all down through here too. I'll show you here, we're gonna get that piece off. Is people just manhandle it, it's only plastic. So I'm just using a 9/16 wrench. And this piece is broken here too. So this is all supposed to be together. And when you pull on this thing, all it does is pull this back and allows more fuel to get in while it's warming up. It's not a choke. Even though it says choke on it, it doesn't choke, it just allows more fuel to get into the carburetor. The choke does the same thing too. It allows more fuel to get into the carburetor. But this is not a choke, it's an enricher valve. And I got a brand new one. Hopefully it's right. May have to take parts off of this one to get it working. Vacuum line off of it. You gotta be careful, that's plastic, you don't want to bust it. There we go. Yeah, look, that is some nasty. Oh my gosh, that's nasty. That don't smell like gasoline at all. Oh, that's nasty. Smells like chalkboard mixed with like dog poop or something. All right, let's get the float bowl off of this thing. Of course, I'm sitting on all my screwdrivers. Brought me some Kleins. And the reason why I like Kleins is these things are made to grip. Because you don't want to strip these out. And most people over tighten them. Not what you want to do. Damn it. Ugh. Yeah. The chalkboard part is okay. Why does it smell like dog poop? All the little screws on top of the motor. Ah. Now that one's full of dirt. So 90% of the workings of the carburetor is in the base of it. There's a couple jets up this way and a diaphragm up top. And we're going to check all that out. One of the things you got to be careful of is this little do-a-majiggy right there that just fell on the ground. So inside there, it looks pretty clean. All right, where did do-a-majiggy go to? So the do-a-majiggy goes down in here and pushes on the diaphragm and it squirts. But you don't want it to squirt that way. You want it to squirt the other way. You want it to squirt this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean all this out. We're going to take the air compressor and blow down into this hole here. That's actually the suction, not the blowout. And the reason why it's not blowing out is because this one's plugged up. So we're going to take all this back off, and we're going to take out the back of the carburetor here. The accelerator pump diaphragm, and there's got some little O-ring glass. See, that one's a little tighter. Oh yeah, we got it. That's why I like having good screws. I don't think this carburetor has ever been apart before. And there goes the spring. So there's gas on this side of the diaphragm. So gas is getting down in there. And this side's supposed to be dry, which looks like it might be a little bit wet. We got a new one of these, I'm pretty sure. All right, so now we got this open. What we're going to do is try to blow some air in it. We should have a new gaskets for this. But let's see if we can't get that little pinhole open. All right, let's try blowing back into it first. If you put your finger over the little hole and blow into this hole, oh, blew out some trash out of that hole. We're still not getting no air out this little hole here. Oh man. Okay, blowing all the parts away. Don't blow the parts away. Now we lost the accelerator diaphragm. It's here somewhere. We'll find it. Right. Overflow works. So what we're looking at is trying to get the fuel to come out this little teeny hole right there. It's supposed to suck in here and blow out over there. And this is the other side of it. And it takes a rubber thing and a diaphragm just pulls it in and pushes it back up through. So I took a little twisty tie, stripped the end out of it. And I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see. Oh yeah, it makes a big difference. Now we're gonna try just poking it down into this little hole. Felt like it went through. All right. Now let's see if we got anything done. We're gonna try to blow it backwards again. Now they may have this piece in the kit. I haven't even looked at the kit yet. If that's the case, you just take this piece out. All right, I think we're gonna have to take this piece off. Let me open up the carburetor kit and see what came in it. Comes with the new spring, new float thingy, and doesn't have the metal hardware. That's okay. Put that right here so I don't lose it. I guess we need to check, make sure the jets are working too. That one works. That one works. That one works. And the diaphragm works. Yeah, I wonder if the it's not adjusted right, but it works. All right, so we got to get that piece out. So the key is to get this thing facing forward when you put it back together. And there is some trash down in there. That seems to be blowing, but that is not blowing. So let's put this somewhere safe. Good thing I got my glasses on. Always doing sketchy stuff. I don't know if there's a check valve in that thing or not. I don't think so. But it did have a little check valve. And it was definitely stuck. Now we should be able to get some air down in there. So the way that thing works is that thing drops back down, but if it doesn't pull up, oh yeah. All right, now we can clean it out. And this is what was stuck. So we'll see if we can't clean that off. You would think with the air pressure blowed up against it that it would have opened up, but it didn't. Unless that piece was pushed down. What did I do with that piece? It was pushed down and touching it. It's made to where it can't go all the way down. That's good to me. Carb cleaner down in there. Can't hurt. Definitely looked like there was some trash in it. Definitely wasn't working. All right, so I got that thing pretty cleaned up. There was definitely had some varnish on the end of it here. Can't see it. Right here. It don't. Definitely had some varnish on it. So let's see if we can get this thing back together. Put it in like that. You can hear it rattling now. That's working now. Now, I still hear it. It wasn't rattling before. So it should go this way. Put my finger on that. Oh yeah. Working, carburetor is working. All right, let's put a brand new accelerator Dual-Majiki on there. So one side is cupped and one side is not. And there's a ridge on it, and the ridge goes down in that thingy-majig. No ridge. One side's flat, the flat side goes up. And then we want to replace this little O-ring right here. Why do you want to do that, Pastor Bill? Because that little O-ring gets brittle. And it is brittle. In fact, we need to make sure that this is blowed out right here. Be careful, I'm going to blow my parts away again. Okay. Squeaky clean. I believe it's the squarish one. And we shouldn't need anything else. So if you notice, this gasket which goes on here is not the same gasket. It's supposed to go around that piece. See that? That's not the same gasket. That's why we don't use everything. Someone says, why don't you use the whole kit? Oh, they do have the other gasket in here. So it comes with both. I'm a firm believer, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Okay, missing pieces here. Missing pieces. So it did come with the gaskets for the two different styles. The older carburetor and the newer carburetors. Don't over tighten them. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to address the we're going to take this piece off. We're going to put some looby-dooby on it. And all we're doing is making it so it slips in nice and easy. Put a little bit on that too. All right, let's adjust the float. So supposedly when you hold them up like this, it's supposed to sit at a 15-degree angle or something like that. So it doesn't always squeeze tight down on it because there's a spring right underneath here. And a lot of people make the mistake of adjusting this bowl so where it sits down tight, then the carburetor doesn't get enough fuel. All right, so it looks like it's right. All right. So this piece here goes up inside that little thing you hold right here on the throttle. And then we take the float bowlish thingy, and this piece has to go into that hole. And you got to feed this in to this at the same time. All right. I think we just about got it. You think she's going to fire off? We're going to turn it over a little bit, get the oil pumping through it, and check that oil. I brought oil with me. And if we get this thing running, we're going to put some air in the tires because they're low. She says, "Oh no, they got plenty of air in them." I said, "Them tires are flat." It's extremely dangerous on a motorcycle to run with low air pressure. I mean, just low air pressure, even if it's close. Bikes get this thing called the death wobble. And you don't want the death wobble. Why didn't you use that whole gasket set? Why didn't you use the stuff? Like I said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's it. Don't over tighten it. Now, the choke slash enricher valve. I have not opened this thing. Man, I hope it's the right one. Looks like the right one to me. All right, we're gonna spray some looby dooby in there. Spray some looby dooby on the cable. And we'll put this thing in. And this is where they break them right here. For some reason, Harley Davidson made that piece stuck out. This thing is supposed to spin like when it does. And that's usually how they break them. This is not a Harley Davidson part going on here. This is the part that was broken on the other one. I want to make sure this is loose when you put it through on the other side. All right, let's see if we can get this carburetor put back on here. Get all this stuff out from my feet. Ugh. Put the hose back on, the vacuum hose. All right, we got to do some manipulation with the fuel line here. It's got to go underneath the fuel choker maker upper. Carburetor's back in place. The fuel line has got to get finished getting snugged up. All right. Not bad, not bad. That seems to be working. Let's put all this thing back together now. We still got to hook the choke thing up to the other side. Let's get our brand new breather box put on there. We have the new gasket. We can put that on there. So these things got double set of threads so they don't fall out. This is not quite the same one, but I guarantee it'll fit. This one got all these numbers up here. This one don't have that. It's got the same writing on the bottom. HD 2900989, HD 29367-97A. Not quite the same ones. Maybe this has got more horsepower. Whatever it is, it's the one we're using. All right. New El Gasketo. I don't know if that's a self-sticky or not. I don't know. It looks like it might be self-sticky. Oh yeah, self-sticky. All right, we'll self-sticky that on there. That's cool. I didn't expect that. So I like to get the carburetor mounted first. Just get the screws started. And then don't over tighten it. Don't over tighten it. Right now we're just gonna get this thing running and ride this thing. Miss Angela needs to ride her bike. All right, we got anti-seize on those. My hands are super greasy. Need to clean that off. Need to put the choke on the other side. Let's get this fuel choker thingy hooked back up. Put the star washer behind her. All right, Lord. Fuel on. Chokey thing on. Ignition on. It's in neutral. Fired. All right, now let's see if we got oil up in there. No oil. Let's put a little bit in there. I should have pumped some oil up in there already. blows straight up into the tank. Let's see if fuel comes out. Okay, fuel's coming out. That's what I thought. So we know it's working right to here. Take the fuel bowl off. Let's see if it's even getting gas down in there. We know it's getting gas to here. If it ain't getting gas inside the bowl, it ain't going around. So it's making enough vacuum to release the valve from the tank. Let's pull the carburetor completely back off again and let's rework that. Well, issues. This is the needle valve for the bike, and you've noticed the tip is gone out of it. That's because it got stuck up into the thing. When I pulled it off, the tip stayed up in there. It was broken off. When I used a little one of these thingies, except it was a straight one, to get it out, and it was all chewed up. Not that I chewed it up, but the kit that I have has a new one. But guess what? It's a different size. But I went to the house. And I got a box of Harley carburetors stuff. And in this box was a brand new kit. And I got a brand new needle seat the right size. So we're gonna put this thing back together, make sure the float adjustment is correct, put this thing back together and try it again. It's getting ready to rain, and so I gotta get this thing back together. All right, so we gotta get this thing back together. I got the needle valve back up in there, and I got my float adjusted to the right thing. I thought I had it recording, and it wasn't recording. I looked over and the camera went off, so it wasn't recording. So all this thing where I did the float adjustment wasn't there. So I got it, float adjustment. I'm not going to do it again. We got the new needle valve in there. It's working great. And so now let's put the carburetor back together and see if we can get this thing running. First thing we got to do is put this thingy-majiggy back in there. And that goes up into that little hole like I showed you last time. Little hole. And then we go like this, and a little hole there. That slides up into that. Get that. That's the accelerator pump. Got to go down in there. I can't wait to ride this thing. don't get rained out. There's some dark clouds coming in. Hope I brought my helmet. I'm riding it anyway. Not too tight. Always use a high quality screwdriver on these little screws. On my other carburetor, and this one here too. Oh no, this one, I put Allen's on this, but I got Allen ones on the other one. See, it says Harley Davidson. All right. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Miss Angela's home. You come on. Why? You don't want to be in the video? She says she don't want to be in the. She don't want to be videoed. She says she's not appropriate for the video. Let's look at me. I like I'm appropriate or something. I had to go all the way home and get another carburetor.
What happened?
Well, the part of the carburetor on the float bowl thingies was broken. And this one that came in the kit for the carburetor was a different size.
I see it.
So I had more Harley stuff at the house, and I had a brand new rebuild kit for the full size bike. So this carburetor is not the carburetor for your bike. Probably someone put it on when they put the pipes on. So,
Might have, yeah.
right. So I put the needle valve that came in this set in here, so
Okay.
should be good.
Okay.
So you can go screaming eagles down the road. So I already had it started, but it wouldn't run because it wasn't getting no fuel. But we got it running. Got the new battery in.
Okay.
So,
Right on.
Yeah. So I'm putting it back together now.
Okay.
No worries, it's all okay.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go unpack all this stuff.
Okay. It's all good.
Okay, it's all good.
No fires yet.
Thank God.
Put our vacuum line back on. Fuel line thingy back on. Set the carburetor on the manifold. All right, after pulling the carburetor apart about a gazillion times, I think I got it. The first, it was little passages going back to the back side of the carburetor. They were gummed up, and then the accelerator pump quit working again. So a gazillion times of cleaning it, I don't know, it should be right. Let's test it out. It's getting ready to storm. There we go. Everything is gummed up today. All right, that's a success. That thing runs good. Now Miss Angela can practice riding with Carol, and plus my wife will have somebody to ride with when I can't ride. And I know Angela likes to ride. Now, she got discouraged. She wanted to give up on it, and now we got it running. We're going to get her all practiced up, and they're going to go take that the MSA, ABCDEFG, one of those courses for motorcycle riding. Even though Carol's already got her license, we're going to get Angela licensed up, and her motorcycle is running great. It's got, for an 883, it's got a lot of power. All right, God bless each and every one of you. You remember, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I bet you this thing start right back up. I bet it will. What do you think? So I went back and did an inspection on it, and I checked all the brakes, all the lights, the horn, everything. Everything is working perfect on the bike. So it's a good safe. Now she just needs to get the plates on it. Man, got gas in my eye. Need to get plates on it, get her insurance on it, get her online thing, so get her permit so she can go take the test down at the place. I think she has to hold that permit for a year, but she can ride with people until then. All right, that's going to be it for this episode of Fixing Things. Definitely, it was, can we get it started? Man, I can't tell you how many times I pull that carb. Man, my eyes are burning. That's what I get for wiping my eyes with gas on my hands. I can't tell you how many times I pulled that carburetor apart. Oh, man. But it's done now. I'll go home and get all this stuff out of here. I gotta wash all the gas off me. Tomorrow, back in the barber shop. God bless you. I'll see you on the next Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. Man, that thing looks good. I can't believe it. Man, ready to go.